I find it pretty convincing. The culmination of the advanced technology was the V-2 rocket. There's no mention of UFOs, no extraterrestrials, and it's as simple as that.
Just because the scientists we talked to didn't know anything about the Wunderwaffe doesn't mean that it didn't exist. I mean, things were chaotic at the end of the war, right?
I believe the Germans saw something. I believe they had contact with something, possibly an alien race, and it was that seeded the technology that was here. In October 1942, the Germans first launched the V-2 rocket from Peenemünde, the first time anyone ever launched anything into space. This raises the question, was the V-2 only a weapon, or was it a means to send a signal to extraterrestrials, much like the channelers of the Vril? I don't think the Wunderwaffe was conventional. I think the Wunderwaffe might well have been the mysterious German project called Die Glocke, the bell.
We've arranged to talk to Dr. Axel Stoll, who's a geophysicist, an expert on unified field theory, and the author of a book about high technology in the Third Reich.
This high technology was developed during the Third Reich. Flying saucers, special aircrafts, much more.
Have you heard of anything called Die Glocke?
The Glocke is a space-time curvation.
Space-time curvation.
In other words, much more easier, is a art time tunnel.
This is a major piece of the puzzle. Once we can understand how this device might have been able to alter space-time, we'll have a much better explanation for exactly how UFOs might work.
The work is based on electromagnetic fields, 100 million volts voltage and more. Plasma too. Mm-hmm. They are so-called electrogravitation fields. This is the propulsion.
This is the propulsion.
Yeah, from the flying saucers, yes.
Dr. Stoll has validated a theory that advanced spacecraft would employ electromagnetic propulsion. If what he says is true, then it kind of supports what Bill Lyon told us about UFOs in New Mexico traveling within electromagnetic fields.
The Glocke is very complicated. This engineering is situated, so-called Project Riese.
The Riese mine?
Yes, it's a correlation. You see, Project Riese was the greatest project during Third Reich.
Project Riese was a vast underground complex extending for miles and miles in Lower Silesia, which is now part of Poland.
Was this the Wunderwaffe?
Yes, was produced in the Project Riese flying saucers and atomic weapons.
Bill Lyon's compass.
This is a navigational compass for one of those ships.
Has led us to the very heart of where German rocketry began.
So the first rocket that was launched into space was from here?
Yes, from here, from Peenemünde.
And it wasn't just rocketry, there's all kinds of advanced technology. And now we're looking to go and investigate the underground resources, what really happened. And we're on the trail of one thing that's driving this. Where is and what is the Wunderwaffe?
We're heading into the Ala Mountains of Poland, home to the mysterious Project Riese. Translated into English, Project Riese means giant project, and it's one of the biggest mysteries of the Third Reich. Now, according to Dr. Stoll, the bell was built in this vicinity, so we're going to explore an abandoned underground factory near Jeschke for answers.
How are you?
I'm going to show you some of the secrets of the Third Reich, what the Germans were doing here.
Igor Wachowski is a military and aviation historian, and he was the first to uncover evidence that the bell may have been built and tested in this area.
So how far into the earth does this go?
This one goes some 200, 300 meters.
So how many of these underground factories are there in Riesa?
There are 6 such facilities within Riesa.
Is this one of the largest ones?
No, it's one of the smallest. It's an underground factory. They would be connected and would form one larger spider web of tunnels.
This is all cement block.
So this is a small confining room and there's a machine gun. What is this place?
It's a guard station in protecting one of the entrances to the Riesa complex.
The fact that there was a machine gun bunker here suggests that something very secret was going on in the Riesa.
But that's not why I brought you here. There is a contradiction between the size of the facility that we can see today and what the German data from the time of the Second World War say. There should be something much bigger here.
You think there's actually more to this place, more than what people know about?
Yes, and I'm just going to show you that.
Wow. We are in the Owl Mountains of Lower Silesia, where Polish scholar Igor Witkowski is showing us a major project called Project Riesa, where possibly the Galaka was assembled.
So it's sucking right up.
Yes, it's going up around 6 or 7 meters, and there is no outlet of the air on the surface of the mountain. So there must have been some cavity out there, and a large one.
We know that hot air rises because it's less dense than cold air. So when Igor lit the tissue, it created an updraft that sucks the tissue through the pipe. And what this tells us is that there's a huge cavity of cold air up there, which creates a pressure differential and quickly draws the tissue through the pipe. Is it possible to get up to the other levels?
All the entrances have been blown up, and there is literally no access to it.
This is crucial. We now know that the size of this cavern inside this mountain was large enough to hold a weapon that was possibly key to the development of the Wunderwaffe.
So what is above us?
What we cannot see is the central part of the Riesa, where supposedly the production of the Wunderwaffe was taking place already before the end of the war.
Igor, do you have any idea or any evidence of what kind of craft they were building here?
Yes, I do, but I have to take you to another place to show you.